Metal Gear Solid.
The Metal Gear Solid
Interrupting me, I see.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I thought we were gonna like go back and forth for this. It's hard to tell when we were looking at a computer screen instead of each other, you know.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another much overdue episode of Comic Sans. My name is Sachit, and I am joined by this guy. Yes, so in case you couldn't tell, Adrien and I are going to be talking about Hideo Kojima's, not Konami's, last Metal Gear Solid game, The Phantom Pain.
Pride, fears, and black and hearts, hypocrisy.
Thank you, Adrien.
I'm working on my cover coming out, next month. And because of how we release videos, next month is basically like 3 years from now.
I'm pretty sure the last time we created a Comic Sans video was the summer?
I think it was like 2 months. Yeah, summertime, I think.
Oh, man.
It's alright. It's fine.
Oh, yes. So...
Kept you waiting,
huh?
Oh,
was it intentional?
Oh.
In the wise actions of Kojima, anything he does, there is a purpose. So, maybe there's a purpose to this long hiatus. Or maybe we're just covering up for the fact that we're lazy.
And busy.
Lazy.
And busy. But mostly lazy.
Yes. So,
yes.
Why don't we get started with this little discussion? So where do we begin?
Well, this is different. Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
I mean, as the guy who plays Metal Gear Solid a lot, this was definitely a different game compared to the rest of the other, or compared to the rest of the series.
Now,
that's for sure.
I'm not like Adrien. I have not played the other Metal Gear Solid games, but I have seen playthroughs of each game, which pretty much makes me a veteran player. Like, come on, like I basically know the game. No, but Adrien clearly has more experience than I have, so I don't know. Look to him for reputable evidence. I don't know, but I think I can give my own 2 cents on some of these discussions.
Definitely, I mean, it bleeds out the word stealth in this game. But it also bleeds out the word open world in this game. And because both are being screamed out on the top of Hideo Kojima's lungs, I mean, you can tell, like, this game has a totally different feel.
Yes, so I think...
And remember how I said only free roaming, open world, and stealth only. I never say anything about the story.
So definitely, yeah. Before we get into all this, I can just tell it's going to be a great one. Let's first talk about the controversy surrounding this game.
Okay, so I mean, like, one of the main concerns is that this game is a lot different from Metal Gear Solid's previous
and that's
games.
Not terrible.
Like,
let's lay down the groundwork first. This game is not terrible. Independently. Yeah. I'm gonna emphasize that.
But compared to prior works, it's definitely different. And
I would even argue
it's very strange.
I would even argue to say that some fans of the series, and I can assure you there are many diehard fans of the series, they probably agree with us. They probably don't, but I think many Metal Gear Solid fans can come to the consensus that this game is disappointing. And we'll get into all that later.
Yeah. And definitely obscure.
So,
that's for sure.
I think without I don't know, teasing everyone with all these, oh my god, controversy, TMZ, oh my god. Let's actually get talking about this. So controversy wise, in the production of this game, Hideo Kojima and Konami got into a feud as to the selling, I guess, of this game, because this game already by itself is a pretty big game. Open world, stealth, many missions to do, a lot of audio tapes, which we'll get to later, but it was not complete. Hideo Kojima had a vision of this game. He wanted this game to be his last, because already he was in conflict with, I think, Konami, even prior to the release of the game, and probably even during the development stages of this game, because Metal Gear Solid is a lucrative game series for Konami. I mean, Konami right now is on the edge. And I don't mean that in a good way.
And
it's relying on mobile games and, what was it, Gashapons? No.
I
don't
even
know.
I mean,
it's something like that.
Definitely when I went to Japan, there was a lot of Konami Gashapons.
I don't know, something like that.
Besides that.
And
besides that, yeah, like Metal Gear Solid is one of their last legs.
And they want to milk this game for all it's worth. And they forced Kojima, I don't want to say forced, but they definitely pressured him to do his work. And if I know any artist or any genius that is like Kojima, you don't pressure an artist. You don't force an artist to do his work. You let him go. You let him go at his pace. And that's what they did not do with this game. And that resulted in a lot of disappointment.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a third chapter to this game. If you don't know already, this game is broken up into chapters with episodes in between. Within each chapter. Now, there are 2 chapters to this game as of release, but there is a missing third chapter. And if you look up on the, in the realm of the internet, you can probably look up the ending to this third chapter, which we may or may not discuss on. We'll see how the flow of this podcast goes, but it's my point is the game is incomplete and it's not true to Kojima's vision. That being said, what is already out, I think, is fine in terms of gameplay. Gameplay is phenomenal. Story lackluster. But I've talked too much already. Adrien, please.
What were we
Oh my
talking
god.
about? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I mean, I think we can talk about Chapter 3. There isn't really much. I mean, if anything, Chapter 3, I think from what I know what it is that Chapter 3 kind of parallels, whatchamacallit, Lord of the Flies, right?
Well,
Am I right about that?
I mean, the Chapter 3 is supposed to revolve around Liquid Snake, or young Liquid Snake, in this game known as Eli. Now, Eli and his band of child soldiers in Africa heavily reflect the story of Lord of the Flies, in which a boy and his group of younger boys take command by themselves to govern themselves in an island without any adults. And you can only imagine stuff goes down, and it's not good stuff.
Yeah. But, yeah, definitely, I think, well, I haven't gotten too far into that game yet, into the game to where I could find that, but, however, I think from what I've heard and seen and how it feels, it definitely, I think, yeah, it being missing, Chapter 3, it would have been nice to have it, and so hopefully they do release it. I think that'd be really nice if they did as, like, a DLC or something, even though I know Kojima's
out of Konami, yeah, so...
Yeah, he is out of Konami.
I don't know, maybe Konami's gonna, like, rake up the development team and finish Chapter 3 and then release it as a DLC, but in a moral aspect, I don't think it's that great, because, again, it's not true to Kojima's vision, and...
Exactly.
I think releasing as a DLC just kind of shows how greedy Konami is as a company. If they were to release this as a DLC, but that I highly doubt.
Yeah, but besides that, another thing that was controversial is just the lack of story too. I mean, sure, we have a missing Chapter 3, but the story in itself is just completely missing unless you use the cassette tapes.
The cassette tapes, I'm okay with them. The purpose...
I don't mind.
What Kojima, I think, had in mind from the interviews I've seen, he wanted this game to be, in the cutscenes at least, more facial expression driven because the technology used to create this game, they used motion tracking, facial tracking, using real people and all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
very advanced. The Fox engine is, as a side note.
And Fox Engine.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at any gameplay,
itself, just
the
how
Fox
it
engine
looks.
looks great. The character models look great. The environment, textures, everything looks great. And not to mention, it's easily optimized for whatever like station you play it on, whether it's PC, which Adrian and I play it on, PS4 or Xbox. But anyways, that's a side note. What was I on? The cassette tapes. Cassette tapes. Again, Kojima had in mind to use facial expression and all that stuff to tell the story of the game, but it's disappointing in the sense that it's not what Metal Gear Solid fans are really looking for, because in previous games, it's very cutscene heavy, and they're the ones that tell the story. The voice acting in these games is what makes Metal Gear Solid games and their cutscenes so unique and surpassing boundaries that were set by video games at the time. Kojima was definitely trying something new with these cutscenes, and having them taken away that was working so well. That's all I could say.
Alright, so enough about bashing Metal Gear Solid 5. We should talk about stuff that we like.
I mean, we
about
already
it.
got into the Fox engine.
I mean-
Fox engine's great, and gameplay. Anyways, I've been talking way too much. Sorry, Adrian, please.
It's okay. Oh, it's okay, because I'm going to talk a huge chunk about the gameplay field, because I have the background for it.
Well, go ahead. Why don't you talk about the
take it
gameplay?
away. Okay, so definitely, you have to look at this game as that it is stealth. Literally stealth. But it gives you the option to go guns blazing.
Which I did at the beginning.
So, oh my god. If you were there, like I streamed Sachit playing it on his computer. Oh my god, that was like the best thing I've ever seen. It was just like best strategies ever. It was fantastic. But so the thing about it is that MGS5 playstyle is definitely use your surroundings and plan ahead, right? It's all about look around. What do you see? What do you have? What can you do to infiltrate? There's more than one way compared to like the linear actions usually given by the Metal Gear Solid games. It gives you more ways than one to go in. And so, I mean, you can go in guns blazing, but then you have the chance of getting beaten up and destroyed. You can go in with more stealth and have a less likelier chance of being caught. And then you have in-betweens where it's like you utilize certain things to kill certain people, things like that. Let's see. Yeah, definitely. It's just like it's different for its lack of story or strong story and more gameplay. If you've played Metal Gear Solid, you know that most of the time your gameplay that's like about 1 to 2 hours, 1 to 3 hours is usually interrupted by a half hour to an hour long story. I mean, definitely with that being in the way, it can take away from the game play, but however, it does give you a story which occupies your time. But that's not the case with this game. For it, everything is just delivered on the Fox engine. So in gameplay, to cutscenes, it transitions smoothly and becomes where it's just, or it's so fluid that it's just okay. It's basically you're just playing the game the whole way through. I just lost my train of thought. No, I didn't. Okay. There's a lot of things that are new for it that I find interesting, like how you shoot is different. There's a lot more physics to it, where it's like you have to aim up and down to get the right accuracy. There's reflex mode, which is a lot different, and the reason they put it in there was because it's open world, and so you need more time to react to things. And personally, I don't mind it. The thing is that they give you the option to turn it on and off, so I mean, that's fine. But the funny thing about reflex mode I love is that when you can toss a magazine at the guy's head. Have you tried that, Sachin?
No, I haven't. I keep forgetting to do that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Like you can toss an empty magazine at a guy's head, and they just get a ding and knock people and stun the person. So it's pretty nice.
Speaking of those little things, like throwing a magazine at someone's face to stun them. What I also really like about this game are just the little, again, those little things in the game that are akin to Metal Gear Solid. Like in Metal Gear Solid 3, you can find
Yeah.
Yoshi things. Like, what is it, dolls? Or whatever?
And in Metal Gear Solid 1, you
Oh.
find Yoshi. In Twin Snakes, the GameCube version.
Oh, wait, no.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yoshi
whatever.
Mario.
I guess I was remembering it differently. But yeah, it's those little things like that kind of poke fun at the game and kind of poke fun at itself, which I find really funny. And you find those little things that are remind you of those previous games. And even things like the magazine stunning a soldier, it opens up to experimentation. It all goes along the idea of it's your experience. Play as you
Yeah.
like. And even that in itself is representative of the idea that you, the player, as playing as quote unquote Big Boss, are Big Boss. You have your own base. You play as you like. You do whatever the heck you want.
And actually, basically, that's a huge part of the story, which kind of sounds lazy, but in a sense, it's actually kind of
Hideo
clever.
Kojima genius.
But yeah, like, oh my gosh, that story. Okay, the storyline for Metal Gear Solid is a bunch. It's like a huge linear mess.
You think you
oh
got
my
it, and then you find out something.
But then you don't after the new installment comes in.
Well, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm gonna take.
I mean, they try their best to make it linear, and it does work out eventually,
Yeah.
but there's still
I
a
guess-
couple
I guess-
things missing. Like, I still want to
guess-
see how Raiden became Raiden.
I guess by having such a
for
little story, you open up for linear things. But, anyways, this game, it was meant. I think one of the disappointing aspects of this game that I'm gonna return to is, as part of the story, is that it was advertised as the game of Big Boss's descent into evil, and I don't know, patching up some plot holes and stuff like that. And this game fails to deliver that, especially Big Boss descending into villainry, which I find pretty odd because that
Yeah.
is how we see it in Peace Walker. Now, I've watched reviews and different different tellings of the Peace Walker story, and from what I have seen, I think that accurately shows Big Boss's descent into villainry, and I think what people failed.
It really
I
does,
think what
yeah.
people fail to realize is that of the overall story of the Patriots and Big Boss against the U.S. government at first after the boss's death, and then against the world after that, like in a more objective sense, Big Boss is acting hastily. He's acting without thought. He's just acting based on what his mentor wanted, and he's not thinking for himself or for the benefit of others. But then when you include what the original boss was all into, and how the government hated her and all that sort of stuff, that's where we get into the classic Metal Gear Solid confusion.
Yeah. I mean, to be quite honest, really the only way you'll ever see Snake kind of going to the path of descent, if you go guns blazing, to be quite
You're
honest.
not playing as Big Boss.
Like, but then either way, yeah, but I mean, either way, you're not. But either way, if you do that, you're not playing as Big Boss, and you're not really playing the game right, and also, you're still fighting against, like, the Soviet army, and, like, I think, what, African
Yeah.
guerrillas? As in GUERRRILA.
We're not trying to be any racist here.
Yeah, but like, I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, there could have been more of a way to see more change in Big Boss. I think one of the things was like with I don't know if you've been there, but with Quiet,
Yeah.
right? I think everyone knows that when you fight against Quiet, once you defeat her, you're given the chance to kill her or not, and I think that would have been cool, or it would have made sense if that, even though they didn't, you don't kill her because you want her as a buddy, or you do kill her, like it would have made more sense if like they had something like to do with like torture or something. I know it sounds bad, but like it shows how dark it wants.
Actually,
to
I'm pretty
be
sure
the story, but we do
there
not
is a
see
Quiet
that.
torture scene.
but we don't see it, at least not yet. At least it's coming way too late. And so like, like I don't see any darkness. You still seem like a good guy. Like I feel like I'm playing the good guy the whole way through. If I'm becoming evil, I haven't been seeing it.
Well, I mean, I guess that's what Kojima wanted, because I mean that's not necessarily a fault in this game, but it definitely I agree, the game definitely does not allow the opportunity to see that sort of stuff happening. But you also have to consider that in previous Metal Gear Solid games, that's kind of what's happening to Big Boss, especially in Peace Walker.
Yeah, or if anything, they could have done it to where Big Boss was misinterpreted, and that Foxhound was the real issue, right? Where it's like Snake was like Solid Snake attacking Big Boss was a real issue, even though it wasn't. But like, still, I mean,
just as a little
like. That's the thing. Is that how like the story tries to transition back to Metal Gear, like the MSX versions, and because the MX versions was, I guess, for lack of a better word, primitive compared to the game storylines now, it's hard to get that transition. So I mean, I can understand why it's hard to make that connection, but they still should have had a better reason, especially with Kojima. Kojima's smart, right? I mean, he makes enough crazy plot twists and whatnot, but I don't know. I feel kind of undermined with just how I feel, how the change of being evil is.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, the change in evil was, as I'll reiterate, it was seen in Peace Walker, but not as easily seen in Phantom Pain. But I think going back to the cassette tapes, you kind of see that with the tapes, because later there are these things called once you unlock the plot twist of the game, you get these truth tapes that talk about the truth that's related to the plot twist. So I guess you can kind of see Big Boss's descent into villainry there,
but you only
you only hear it, and the open interpretation of that Big Boss really isn't a good man and all that sort of stuff. Like, you kind of see it, but you don't see it, you just hear it. And
the only way you actually see it is that when you're in the helicopter, like the ACC, and it's nighttime with your helicopter, and you zoom into the window. That's the only time you'll ever see your plot twist. Or until spoiler, by the way.
Or until you unlock the flashback episode that involves the plot twist. But that's, again, much later. And on a side note, Adrien, I have tried that so many times and I have failed. Were you just hallucinating?
Really? No, it looks kind of shoddy, but I mean, it's there. You gotta look. Yeah, I'll show you when I live stream tomorrow night.
Right.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but okay. You know what? Let's stop bashing. I feel like I'm just bashing on how much I don't like the change in story.
Change.
Or, the change. Yeah, just okay. But besides the change in story, I love this game. I'm actually serious that I do love this game. It has killed so much productive time for me, but I don't mind because I enjoy the game so much.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
it just so happens. So happens by convenience that this game, for me at least, like, just like Adrien, it's a time killer, time waster, but at least I have something to do. You know, when I'm bored, like when I'm something like I want to do, I could just like open Metal Gear Solid 5 and just run around and perform espionage, whereas in the other games you're just playing through a book, like a light,
and you replay. And the only way you get the experience again is to replay it. Here, yeah, you can just go anywhere and still do stealth if you want to. And also along with that is that, like, while they do have the funny Easter eggs and little Metal Gear-esque things as usual, there's still like a whole bunch of options of customability, which is great. Like, recently, I just got the legendary gunsmiths, and now I have custom weapons I can do. And, like, you can customize your helicopter, and mine is solid gold.
Everyone does solid gold.
Kids in America. Solid gold and Kids in America. That is fantastic. Like, you can't do... like...
Yeah, the customization of this game really is phenomenal.
The game takes itself not too seriously as well. And with that you have these options which makes this game such a pleasurable experience too. I mean, oh my gosh. Like, oh,
Contain
this is
yourself,
great.
man.
Kids in America. And then okay. And then the options with buddies, like there's so much versatility. You have your D horse, you got your D dog, you got your quiet, you got your D walker, a bunch of D's. But like these buddies
These buddies. Buddies.
are good. They're good in their own ways. If you don't want to use a vehicle, use a horse. If you just need scouting, use quiet or your dog.
Or
up to you.
I think a thing to point out about the buddies is that there's also a relationship meter, and
Yeah.
that promotes.
And with that, you unlock like more
that
things.
promotes performing beside your buddies,
Usage.
and I think that's really good. I lost my train of thought. Sorry, Adrian. What were you saying?
No, that's fine. And then eventually FOB missions show up, which allows for like more multiplayer. And eventually MGS Online is gonna show up soon for PC finally. And so I mean, this game has so many options. The only thing that lacks in it is just its story. But besides that, it's just fantastic.
Yeah. There's nothing much else. I mean,
yeah. There's really nothing much else. It's an MGS game without the story, basically.
yeah.
The story
It's
that
kinda-
you fondly
It's
remember.
kind of what you're secretly hoping for. A game that legit involves stealth. Granted, Metal Gear Solid games prior involved stealth, but this takes it to the max and makes you feel like you need to do the stealth. If you choose to do the stealth, at least. Guns blazing.
It being open
Guns blazing,
world,
sure,
yeah.
but I don't recommend that because I did that and I died a lot.
Oh my gosh, his first mission, everyone. Oh my god. Rest in peace to all the soldiers. Oh my god, never forget.
Hey, but I became better. I
So-
started Fultoning them. I started.
Yeah, he has gotten better, and yeah, I mean, there's so much in the game that allows you to keep on playing.
Yeah.
They know you're gonna spend like so many hours on it.
Some argue that it's repetitive, but the repetition is.
I mean, it is, but the repetition's fine because if you take it in more ways than one, you don't really feel it too much.
Yeah, there's always something new.
Think about Peace Walker.
There's always something new.
Yeah, think about Peace Walker. You're always faulting people, right? And then defeat the armored weaponry. Like Peace Walker was just as repetitive too. I mean, yeah, it's all about how you look at it. I mean, okay, the main storyline, yes, it's repetitive. I can understand the main storyline being repetitive, but then like side missions, just like Peace Walker, they were also repetitive. But yeah. What they could have used would have been nice, or what could have been nice would be more boss battles. I think that would be cool,
Yeah.
right? Because I mean, I'm already like 20 episodes in, and I haven't gotten a boss battle yet. The only thing I got close to was
The quiet thing, right?
Sahelanthropus, but then that wasn't even much of a boss battle. It was more of duck and cover.
Wait, what was Duck and Cover?
Like Sahelanthropus the first time you see him.
Sahelanthropus.
Yeah. What name is Sahelanthropus? I need to look that up.
You do that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, yeah. I think that's basically it. I'm pretty sure we repeated ourselves a couple times, but I mean,
Can we point out? Sorry. I just remember this. Can we point out what happened at the Video Game Awards ceremony?
oh my god.
So,
Rip.
Phantom Pain,
That's
if you didn't
so
know,
bad.
won, I think, Best Action Game of 2015. Yeah,
Best
Best
Action
Action Game. And normally at the VGAs, the publisher or the creator of the game would walk up and take the award, as per usual. But not this time. No. when Metal Gear Solid 5 was announced to the world that it was the best action game, you know who came up? Not Kojima. Kiefer Sutherland. He is a fine man. He voiced Big Boss slash Venom Snake slash Punish Snake very well. Very nitty gritty in what Kojima wanted. I'm fine with that.
Where are your friends?
But it was not Kojima.
Speak.
You wanna know why? 'Cause Konami. I forgot his name, but the person who hosted the VGAs, he was hesitant at first, but he gave this not premeditated speech after the acceptance of the award that Kojima could not make it to the VGAs because Konami's lawyers said to Kojima, hey, you can't go to the VGAs for some weird, obscure reason that really demonstrates Konami's, immaturity about this. Sorry, just gets me boiled.
Would you rather say triggered?
Let's refrain from using such language.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I think that's good. I think we got most of our points across.
Yeah.
Definitely, I mean, Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain. It's a good game.
Good game.
It's a
good game with the.
It's a fun game, but sometimes boring game in terms of story and repetition.
Good game with the GUD with the double T not double T, double dot over the U. Good.
Good. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it.
It's been.
I think we got our point across 3 times in this video.
Man, repetition upon repetition.
Just like Metal Gear Solid,
man.
Phantom Pain. It's like we planned it.
Like Kojima, everything has a purpose.
Yeah.
Look.
So yeah, that's our thoughts on Metal Gear Solid 5. I hope you're enjoying my gameplay and possibly Sachit's gameplay. I know I'm not the best, but it's all good. I'm having fun-ish. And so yeah.
It's been Sachit.
And it's been Adrian. And thanks for watching another episode of Comic Sans. Go treat yourself with some hot matcha green tea. And have yourself a good one.
See ya.
Bye.